All right. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another day. We had some volatility last night and this morning. So we're going to talk about that in this live stream, and hopefully we are going to be able to find the bottom in this dip. I think it is going to come very soon. However, I don't think the dip is done, but we are getting close. So, a little spoiler on that one. If you're a part of the Discord, you already know what's going on. Let me go ahead and get all my updates sent out or all my notifications sent out. Where is the bottom? So this will be a pretty quick stream. It's going to be to the point. I'm not going to deviate too much. The ultimate goal in this stream is to essentially figure out where the bottom is at, see if we can find some warning signs. I have a veterinarian appointment in like an hour and a half, so I have to go take my dog over there. So it shouldn't be that long of a stream. But I do want to make sure you guys get that information, and that's the key. All right, where is the bottom? Live stream at everyone. And send. All right. Cool. Awesome. Hey, Alec, how are you doing, brother? All right, let's go ahead and get my notifications sent, or all my chat comments set up. We'll be good to go. All right. Come on, man. There it is. All right, cool. There we go. Everything's good to go. Let's go ahead and get this started. So, yeah, this was the expectation we had from last night. My ultimate goal is that we are going to get one more dip. And the reason why is so that we can form a classic bullish divergence. So this bullish divergence actually should be up here because we take the candle closes, not the I know, right, bro? I'm right there with you, man. You know how I am. You want to get streams, man, you got to adjust to my schedule because my schedule is always a nightmare. So, but if you want the best content, you know, you're here. So, all right. Either way, guys, this is my expectation, what I'm looking for, because we do not have a bullish divergence that has formed on any time frame, right? So essentially what we're looking for is we're looking for one more dip lower to create a classic bullish divergence. And then once we create that classic bullish divergence, that's when I'm expecting an actual bounce. Because if you go back and you can look at this, all of these dips so far, we actually have not had any higher lows in RSI, right? We have a lower low in RSI, lower low in RSI, right? Or even lower low in RSI, lower low in RSI, lower low in RSI. So essentially what I want to see is I want to see us actually create a higher low in RSI. If we do that, that's what's called a show that basically tells us that the bears are losing sell pressure, right? Because if they cannot push the RSI down, because RSI is a show of strength, right? So if they cannot push the price down with strength and conviction any further than the previous ones, that means they're losing strength, right? And that just makes sense, right? And the cool part is that's exactly what we were able to do up here and catch the top, but entirely on the inverse, right? So like if we go over here, we're essentially doing the exact opposite of what we did at the top. And yes, we were able to catch the top, or close to it, within like a percentage point or so. And the reason why is because of a bearish divergence we had. So what we're doing now is we're doing the exact opposite. Now we're looking for a bullish divergence. All right, here we go. So this is the almost here. Oh my gosh, I post so much in the Discord. If you guys are not part of the Discord, you're seriously missing out. All right. Where are we at? And we're getting close. There it is, right here. Okay. The bearish divergence has started to play out with the initial drop. Look, bearish divergence. You see that? We have an increase in price, decrease in RSI, decrease in volume. This is what we want to see for a top pattern, right? Let's make that a little bigger for you guys. So we have an increase in price, decrease in RSI, right? So although we were making higher highs in price, we were actually making lower highs in RSI. So because we're making lower highs in RSI, that actually tells us that the bulls were losing buy pressure, right? That means that essentially they were not able to push the price up as much, right? So right now, we're looking for the exact opposite. So this is a higher highs in price, lower highs in RSI, lower highs in volume. Volume is another way to also look at it. And real quick caveat on this: volume is not buy volume and sell volume. Okay, that doesn't make sense. So if you say that, I really encourage you guys to like move out of that. And the reason why is because what is volume? All volume are transactions. How many transactions have happened during a period of time, right? And so every buyer requires a seller. Every seller requires a buyer. You can't sell to nobody. You can't buy from nobody. Every time you have a buyer, you also have a seller, right? That's how it works. So there is no buy volume or sell volume. It's just volume. Transactions took place, right? But volume is very important because it tells you the amount of interest that we have in that price level, right? So if you start seeing a ton of volume come in, that means whatever price action is happening is significant and you should take notice, right? So this right here had significance and we were going to continue going up. But this increase in price, see that, had low volume, which means that the significance of these movements up is actually very limited and that people are actually not buying here that many, right? There's not many buyers at that territory, that region, right? And it did end up playing out. So classic bearish divergence that we had, and you can guys go back to Discord and see all this. Like it's all public record. I don't delete stuff. I just leave it up there. If I'm wrong, I leave it up there. If I'm right, I leave it up there, right? But it gives you an idea of exactly how to play this. And so my market updates have been very, very consistent, and they've also been very, I think, pretty damn in depth. So I would really recommend going back through here and really seeing why things have played out the way they have. All right. So, jump back to present. So, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because last night we were looking for a bearish divergence or a bullish divergence on RSI, right? So, ultimately, one more dip low and one more dip low on here. However, this is not going to clear this low, and this one would, and we also have a decrease in volume, right? Same thing we're talking about now. All right. So why am I so bullish at this area, right? And that's probably another really big thing to talk about. Why am I so bullish here? Well, guys, it's pretty simple. This is simple market structure play, okay? You have this weekly breaker, and this weekly breaker I have talked about for weeks, okay? This is very important, okay? We've come up here, we tested it, massive rejection candle, but ultimately we were not able to clear above it, right? This weekly breaker was very significant, right? Come back up here, could not clear it. Back up here, massive rejection candle, still not able to get above there. Once again, rejection. Finally we broke above, okay? So we tested it once, twice-ish, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times. I can't count today. 8 times we tested this level, right? So this level is very, very significant, right? And now we busted above it. So now that we busted above it, okay, because it was a very strong resistance level, very clear resistance level, you can't get much of a cleaner resistance. Now we're coming back down into it. Now it should act as a support level, right? Because what was a resistance, you can assume to become a support once it's reclaimed. So was a resistance, now a support. We're coming back into it. This is a bullish retest before ultimately a continuation back to the upside. Pretty damn clean, guys. Like this is really clean price action. Now another thing, and this is not from me, this is from Credible Crypto. In case you're not familiar with him, he was one of my mentors. Really, a lot of the things that I do, I take from the teachings that he gave me. So it's not really my stuff necessarily, but all right, let's see. If you flip it around and you extend this thing to the left, I didn't recognize this, but this level is extremely significant. Look at this. Test the downside. Test. Okay. So resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support. You guys see that? Massive level. I like, the more I look at this, the more I really am starting to believe this is the most significant level on the chart. All right. So it is a very, very important level. And ultimately, I am expecting to hold. Okay. Make it very clear. I am expecting this to hold. Okay. But obviously, we have to use caution here because this was a pretty harsh rejection. But I am expecting it to hold, guys. So while we're in this area, while we are possibly printing a bullish divergence on RSI as well as volume, it makes a ton of sense to be buying here. And it's really, really, really hard for me to be bearish on this massive assumed support level. It just doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, guys, like this right here is a incredibly obvious buy zone. Okay, now if we start dipping below here, abandon all hope, abandon ship, things are screwed. Okay, if we start dropping below here, I will absolutely be taking some serious profits and licking my wounds and saying, oh well, I guess I was wrong. But until then, yeah, until we lose this level, I really just can't. I really just can't take that as anything but bullish here. 4280 on what time frame? Oh, hour 1. Let's look at this. 280. Yeah, I definitely can see it. That entire region is significant. Like this entire region is very significant, guys. So like that's what I'm trying to explain here. Like this is the key level to watch for. So as far as I'm concerned, all right, horizontal line 42,800, 42,880. All right, good resistance and support there. Yep. I see it right there as well. Good. Almost tapped it, not all the way. Very clean. Yeah, dude, I think you're right. I think that level is very significant. So either way, though, Bitstamp, Coinbase are very similar. I mean, it's fine. Either way, go, guys. The key I'm trying to make here is that this is a very significant level. Okay, this entire support resistance level is very significant, and this is an absolute buy zone for myself. All right. Unfortunately, I have already deployed all my capital. I talked about that in a previous post, and all right, here we go. And I posted this last night? No, 2 nights ago. Okay, 2 nights ago. So this is during a little bit of a downtrend and not much, right? And I said, given so many conflicting indicators, it's still very hard to get a good read on this market. It's true, right? We were in a weird spot. The best play is to be patient and de-risk overexposed positions. There'll be plenty of time to play the market when a clear trend is established. As of now, taking positions is more of a gamble than trading if you are focused on the low time frame. And that's 100% true, guys. This chop over here, it was very hard to play, okay? And this, I mean, there's bullish cases and bearish cases. We had the bearish divergence to play it out. That was a clear top. But in here, we really didn't know, right? However, we started breaking down. Now, this was obviously no longer a clear play, or no longer an ambiguous play. But anywhere in here absolutely was, right? My macro perspective is still up until 53 to 58,000, so I'm fine with maintaining my position when riding the dips at this point because the macro bullishness of the altcoin market. Nothing has changed here, guys. I am completely fine in my position because of the macro bullishness of the market, especially the Bitcoin or the altcoin market. It still looks totally fine, and I'm absolutely going to be holding for weeks, months if necessary. No worries at all. So, and this is how I'm trading it because I know how my portfolio is allocated and what my risk tolerance is, etc. Right? I'm okay with riding these dips because I'm very confident that we are going to get we are going to be able to recover here, right? But we gotta be very careful there. So, let's look at some other indicators here. Bitcoin dominance is a big one. This level right here is a weekly level, and I've talked about this in a previous video. Essentially, this was we have some serious issues in the market if we get above here, right? However, we were still raging in here, and I said alts following Bitcoin, some 2x winners, nothing crazy, right? We were in there for a while. However, we've now busted down here, and this is where it gets really cool because money rotating into alts from Bitcoin. Last couple of weeks, we've seen this. Money is rotating into altcoins from Bitcoin. A few alts, 2 to 5x in price. We've seen this, right? Waves was a big one. What are some other ones? I can't even think right now. We had other major winners, but ultimately we have had some major winners that have went 2 to 5x in price, right? And Some of the major alts get double-digit increases in percentages. Luna has absolutely gotten double-digit increases. I'm pretty sure Ethereum got double-digit increases. There are other ones as well that are getting these double-digit increases, which is what we wanted to see in this level, right? Well, this is a weekly breaker, right? Weekly breakers are acting as a resistance now that we've fallen beneath it, right? We have a weekly close beneath it. So now this is a weekly breaker that we are testing from the downside. If you're testing it from the downside, this is going to act as a resistance level, right? So we came up here, tested it, and now I expect us to continue to go back down, right? And this is whenever I made this assessment on what my expectations were, right? Either going to come down here and bounce up or come down here, do a little retest, continuation deck down. It did bounce up here, but we have gotten that bearish breakdown, and now we've already retested it, so now I'm expecting it to continue to drop back down. This is what we want to see in the market. This is what I'm ultimately wanting to see. So this looks totally fine. As long as we're in here, I'm very, very happy. If we get back into here, that's not great, right? And I think if we do start getting back into here, I'm going to have to start taking some sort of risk reduction on my altcoins because ultimately it's just not following the plan the way I was looking for, because I do not expect us to get back in here. And if we do, that would be a bearish sign for the altcoins, right? So as long as this weekly breaker's holding, though, I have no issue right now. Next thing we're talking about is the Bitcoin long chart. The longs charts, this is an interesting one. So the longs have actually been a really, really good tell lately. They've been a really good thing to be watching, and they've been really giving us the keys that we need to know what was going on in the market. Well, we had a rounded top up here, and because we started having this parabolic decrease in long positions, whenever you have a long position, you are leveraging an account so that you're essentially what that means is you are confident the market is going to increase, right? When you go into a long position, you are confident that the market is going to increase. Well, the people who can really move this chart and increase the amount of contracts open is generally your massive whales, right? These are whales making these movements, all right? You and I jumping on here is not going to move this market very much, right? But the whales having these massive trends, this is actually whales opening and closing positions. So over here, whales were confident we were going to keep increasing, which we did, right? The longs were winning, right? That the market kept increasing. They had a lot of confidence that the market was going to keep going up, right? This is a parabolic increase, which is what you really want to see, right? However, up here, we started rounding a top, okay? And we started rounding. This means that essentially they're not as confident and they're starting to close positions. Well, we rolled over and then we had a parabolic decrease, right? That means that whales were no longer confident in their position and were closing out their long positions parabolically. That means, with aggression. They were closing out their longs with aggression to get out of the market because they were expecting the market to decrease. Well, if we go over here and look at this, I haven't even looked at this yet, but I'm going to assume that the longs and short positions actually played out really well, and it was a major key indicator. Let's see. 4 hour. Vertical line. Oh, shit. Let's see. 6 April. I'm trying to line them up. That's why I'm doing this. Maybe a better way of doing it, but this is what I'm doing. Let me rephrase it. I'm sure there's a better way, but this is what I'm doing. All right. So that's the first one. And then 25 February. Oh, wow. Way back here. Oh, that's Bitcoin dominance. What am I doing, guys? I'm losing my mind over here. All right. March. All right, close enough. So there's a reason why I'm doing this, I promise, guys. Okay. Oh, there you go. That's why I was doing it like that. All right, cool. 6 April. All right. And close enough. All right, close enough, guys. All right, so let's look at this, right? When the longs were increasing, where were they starting to increase? At the bottom. You guys see this? This is where the longs started really increasing, okay? Then as we started getting to the top, longs started decreasing, right? Now, obviously, we did have another spike up, but we know this was a bearish divergence. And once we had that bearish divergence form, the longs just kept decreasing rapidly, all right? So essentially, the longs were giving us a story on what was going to happen in the price. So longs were closing, 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 closing. Obviously, we've gotten this massive sort of capitulation, minor time frame capitulation. So now what's going on? Well, while we're now down here at this major support level, the longs are actually starting to reverse again, okay? We're actually starting to have a different sort of market structure that's playing out. This was a parabolic movement downwards. You guys see that? A parabolic movement downwards. This means that the shorts are or the longs are closing in an increasingly aggressive manner, right? But this structure takes a different shape than what we had before. This was a parabolic decrease. This looks like actually a falling wedge, which is a reversal pattern. This is a bottoming structure right here, right? So if this is a bottoming structure on the longs closing or the longs chart, this would give us the hint that we're going to start having an increase in longs, which means an increase in confidence in the market and where our current price action is. And that means that Bitcoin should also reverse to the upside as well, right? I think that makes a lot of sense. So ultimately, that's what I'm expecting to see here. So yeah, I think it looks totally fine right now, guys. I don't have an issue. DXY is now open. Stocks are open, right? I think they are. Yep, stock markets are open. We've already had a bit of a down day already. Yeah, they are open, right? Yeah. When did they open? An hour ago? Yeah. Okay, they opened an hour ago, guys. So stocks are now open. They're now starting to have a down day. However, this is an important thing. DXY is actually still struggling. It's still at this major resistance level, which this major resistance level is this massive monthly breaker we identified last night, right? And just to give you an idea of how strong this breaker is on DXY. All right, so first off, let me explain this chart, okay? I want to give you guys an understanding of what we're looking at right now. The DXY is the dollar currency index. This is the relative strength of the US dollar compared to other assets, right? So when you buy crypto or buy stocks, what do you use? You use the dollar, right? That means that you're selling your dollars for crypto, right? Makes sense. Whenever you sell crypto, you sell your crypto so that you buy dollars, right? So when you buy dollars as a macro perspective, the market goes up. When you sell dollars, the market goes down. So ultimately, these two charts, this chart and Bitcoin, are essentially inverse of each other, right? In the traditional markets as well. They don't entirely play out like that, but essentially that's what we're looking at. So basically, they're inverse of each other because you sell Bitcoin to buy dollars and you sell dollars to buy Bitcoin, right? So when you come to a major resistance level, that actually is bullish for crypto and the traditional markets. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, this is a monthly breaker, okay? And this happened back in February of 2017, okay? February of 2017, this was the this major breaker. This whole downtrend over here, you know what happened? You know what happened in this point of time? This was the bull run that we had in 2017 where Bitcoin went from like $300 to $300 to like 20,000. There's also the same one where we had the 40,000% increase in Ethereum, 60,000% increase in XRP. I think we had like a 50,000 increase in Litecoin or something like that. This is where that happened, right? Because the DXY was dropping, okay? And then when we started to reverse, what happened here? This was the top of the altcoin market, right? Right here was the top of the altcoin market. So yes, this DXY is extremely important. Well, we are currently at this massive monthly breaker, and we know it's significant because this was the COVID crash over here, right? March of 2020, this is when like the whole COVID craziness was going on. Look at this massive spike up, right? But look what happened. We spiked up massively, but DXY, this breaker, was able to hold it down, okay? So now we are testing this again for the first time. This is the same level that we had in the COVID crash. Is the market in as crazy of a spot now than it was during the COVID crash? I would say no. I don't think that we're having the same sort of mass hysteria that we were having back in this time, right? There are people who legitimately thought the world was ending in this sort of period, right? So I know like the whole toilet paper crisis we had, how no one was on the roads. Basically, the whole economy was shut down. Like, this is the mass craziness that we had here. And we're now approaching that level on the DXY, but we really don't have the same signs like we did back here. So ultimately, I am expecting that this breaker is going to hold from a technical level, as well as from a technical level, as well as the whole narrative level. Like, I don't think we're nearly as bad of a shape as we were back here. Okay, the entire economy. And if we were to push right through here, that would essentially tell us that people are more scared now than they were back then, and I just don't think that's the case. All right. So I hope that makes sense, and that's another big bullish bias here as to why it's really hard for me to be bearish right now, guys. All right, let's look at the total charts. This is pretty cool. So this is total 3 altcoin market. As you guys can see, we pushed up here. We tapped this weekly breaker, and the weekly breaker acted as a major resistance because that's what breakers do, right? So is this just like, are we screwed here? Well, remember, my bias has been for many months, as long as we're holding this level, it's just ranging, right? This is good. As long as we're holding this, I still have the expectation we're going to continue to go back up, right? Because remember what this is, guys. This is the macro golden pocket, and this is a weekly breaker, right? So this now weekly breaker acted as a strong support, and now this weekly breaker acts as resistance. Surprise, surprise, right? So if we get above here, that'd be a very bullish sign, but until we do that, we have to use caution. Looks like Dow is actually starting to recover a little bit, right? And yes, it is important to also watch Dow or the traditional markets because Bitcoin is closely tied to Dow, all right, or the traditional markets. You can't argue against it. I think you're just flat out wrong if you want to argue with me on that. So yes, we are tied to traditional markets. So yes, it is important to also understand that. SPX is actually looking pretty good today as well. DXY is dropping. We want to see this reverse. We want to see it drop. This would be a really, really good indicator on us. This will be a really good confirmation signal if we just start really collapsing here. It'd be a really, really good sign. All right. So here's what we want to see. Okay, this is like the checklist. This is the checklist that we want to see so that we're going to have confirmation that we're going to keep going up. Okay, for one, the longs start increasing. I want to see more confidence in the market. That's number one. Number two, I want to see the Bitcoin dominance. I want to see this level hold. Okay, I do not want to see it get above here. DXY, I want to start seeing it drop. Okay, I want to start seeing DXY drop. Dow, just don't collapse. Okay, that's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for much. I just don't want you to have a black market or a black Monday sort of collapse. All right, as long as you range in here, totally happy. Anywhere in here, I'm totally happy, right? If we start going up, even better. But as long as we stay like probably above maybe like 33.6 or so, good, great. Keep doing your thing. Totally happy about that. We don't want to see a massive increase in shorts. That'd be a pretty, that'd be pretty shitty. We really want to see a massive increase in shorts. And actually in quantity, not percentages. Percentages doesn't mean anything because the quantity is so incredibly low right now. Like, look at this, guys. Like, we've had as many as, gosh, we've had as many as 43,000 shorts open, and right now we only have 47 or 976 shorts. Okay, so like if we have a 100% increase in shorts, that's still only going to be like to here, right? That's still nothing, right? When we've had spikes as high as this. So until we start getting into the tens of thousands on shorts, I don't really care, right? But as long as the quantity of shorts doesn't increase to like 10,000, cool, right? I would even probably get a little cautious if we got to like 7,000. But ultimately, though, right now we're at an all-time low in shorts. That means that people are not confident. The major players are not confident the market's going to drop. So as long as this stays relatively low, totally happy with that. So Dow, I wanted to see it just not collapse. Same thing with SPX. Bitcoin dominance, we want to make sure that we stay inside. Ultimately, I want to see it stay inside this range. I would be okay if we stay inside this range. I really would not want to see it, but I'd be okay with it, I guess. Longs increase. And yeah, dude, like that's really it, guys. Like I think this looks totally fine. I don't see any issue with this market right now. It doesn't make sense to me to be bearish here. Maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe do you guys have a real reason why I should be bearish? You guys like, do you guys have like an indicator that like, oh, well, you're totally missing this indicator because, you know, you're just blind to it or something? I legitimately want to know, is there a reason why I should be bearish here? Oh, what the hell am I doing here? Oops. Is there a reason for me to be bearish here? All right, like legitimately, do you guys have a reason where you want to say, well, so-and-so said yada, 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 right? I want to know what you guys' thoughts are. I really want to see this because, like, I do not see us being bearish here, like, at all. I'm super bullish right now. Like, I can't stress that enough. I'm probably more bullish right now than I have been in a very long time. Yeah. Honestly, I am. I think I'm more I'm more bullish right now. The charts are clearer to me than I have been in a very long time. This consolidation cluster, I was pretty damn confident about it that we were going to break up, but you know, we had a lot of weirdness in this market, right? But this is a very clear range, very clear breakout, very clear retest. This weekly breaker has a ton of significance. I'm super bullish right now, guys. Now, ultimately, though, let's talk about this as well, though. Where do I expect us to go? I expect us to go. God, these charts are just getting ugly, guys. I'm sorry. I have like when I have ADHD and like I just like constantly like add more shit to my charts all the time, and then I have to step back and be like, God, this is ugly, right? But so weekly breaker retest, right? But remember, my goal, my expectation is not up here. My expectation is only for us to get up here. Okay, that's it. This is it. I do not expect us to get much higher than this. Okay, this is it. This is the golden pocket retracement. This is the area that I'm looking to take significant profits at. Okay, and then ultimately I'm expecting us to drop down to like probably around here is my first target. Okay. After here, I will not be doing anything until we get down to 28,000. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm looking for that is pretty simple. 28,000 is the golden pocket of the entire structure. You guys see that? So 22 to 28,000 is the golden pocket of the entire structure. That's a key level, right? And I can't ignore that level as possibly actually being the macro bottom. Right? And also, that would be a sweep of all of these key levels down here. So if we sweep down here and down in here, this would make a lot of sense. So I need to gain about 20,000. Dude, me too, man. I want 20,000 too. Today. I want 20,000 today. That'd be really, really cool. What else am I looking at, guys? I think the market looks clean. Like, I don't really see the issue here, guys. I really don't. We are starting to get a little down our momentum, so we might actually get our bullish momentum, or our bullish. I can't talk today. We might actually get our bullish divergence form here on stream. Really nice. Be really nice, right? We can look at this, make sure it looks healthy still, but like this is a pretty high volume decrease. This increase was low volume, right? So this is a clear bear flag. So ultimately, I am expecting us to break down, right? But is that okay? Yes. Yes, guys, totally fine, right? Let's do that. I don't know why these got all messed up, but they did. Maybe it's a 4 hour. That might be why. Either way, this is what I want to see. So this is step one, right? We already went the whole macro. We understood why in macro this entire level is just so important, right? But yep. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, we're starting to show some weakness on Bitcoin dominance. People are fleeing to Bitcoin because they feel a dump is coming on, which is very possible. I don't think it's going to be as aggressive as people may be expecting. But yeah, I do expect another low to be set. Low time frame looks like the longs are starting to curve upwards. We want to see, right? This may have been a bit of a capitulation over here. That'd be really nice. People expect a dump. Why? I mean, because we haven't had a bullish divergence storm. That's why. I absolutely am expecting a dump here. The reason why, though, we don't have a bullish divergence, right? And the bullish divergences are a clear bottoming pattern for a structure. So, yeah, we want to come down here and make it a low on price, make a higher low on RSI. This would give us the springboard that we need to really bounce up. Bullish divergences are very, very good for the market. Okay, it's a very clear indicator that bears are losing strength. Because right now, there's nothing in here telling us that bears have lost strength. Bears are keep kicking ass. Okay, bears are kicking ass right now because you guys see this. Each one of these dumps down here. This RSI is right here. Okay, this RSI is down here. This RSI is down here. This RSI is down here, right? You guys see that? Each one of these dumps is more aggressive, okay? That means that the bears are not losing strength, okay? They're not. Each one of their dumps is harder and harder and harder, okay? So until we start to reverse or we start to show some weakness in their dumps, and that's whenever we can start really entering positions. But yeah, that's what my expectations are. Yeah, guys, like it's clear to me. This is a really clear, really clear chart. I'm very bullish right now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to add, guys. I think this all makes sense. I went through the charts. I've articulated it. I've went through it. Like this all. I think that. I think it all makes sense. I think we're gonna have one more dump, and then we're gonna be able to have a good recovery. But until we get that dump, the bullish divergence still has not played out yet, and that's the only thing I'm lacking right now. Do we have any trend lines? Let's look if we see any trend lines that exist out here. I honestly don't know. Oh, also, guys, okay. This was drawn 2 weeks ago. 20 days ago, I drew this. You guys see that? So, like, guys, like this is nothing outside of what was expected. You got like no shit. You guys see this, right? This was drawn right here on 27 March. I basically was like, hey, we're going to range around a little bit, then we're eventually going to dump down here, and then we're going to keep going back up. So this doesn't line up perfectly because you obviously can't predict time, But the overall expectation has not changed. This is exactly what we were looking for, guys. Like nothing here has changed. Very, very content with what we're looking at. Now for confirmation that this whole thing is we're going to keep going up, very clean, very easy. Reclaim the yearly open. It's over. It's over. All right, we're going to keep going up. That's it. So get above $46,209 on Bitfinex or whatever the equivalency is on your own exchange. That is where we're going, guys. If we get above here, this is the key indicator that we're going to keep going up. Yep, that's it. All right, this is a pretty clean chart. Let's see if we can work and find some trend lines or something in here, right? We might be able to, maybe not. I don't know. Well, we're going to dig in here real quick. So let's draw a trend line over here. Nope. Okay, nothing there. Let's do it here. Anything significant about this level? Nope. This doesn't look bad. This doesn't look bad. It's not. Its interaction is not that bad actually. Look at this. So you have a test, ish, right? Pretty clean. Bullish retest, right? So it formed a level, resistance, support, right? Support, fell below it. It's maybe like a deviation, then a reclaim, right? So this is like your bullish case that we're going to keep going up. Winning 20,000. So like, you don't win money in crypto, right? You don't win money, right? If you're winning, that means that it's like gambling, right? Gamblers win and lose, right? Traders don't. Traders, if you're consistent in your trading style, you will consistently make money over time, and that's the cold hard truth, right? But that in order to be consistent in your trading, you also have to use proper risk management. You have to use proper discipline. You have to actually execute the plans once you make it. You just have to be consistent, right? And that's where it is. So, could we have an increase here? Sure. Could we have a decrease here? Sure. But like, because trading is about statistics and probabilities, I think that there's a high probability that we are going to keep going up, right? But at the same time, though, I also recognize that my invalidation point is a loss of the weekly breaker, right? We've already talked about that. That is our, if we lose that, at that point, I have to assess and say, oh, wow, I was wrong, right? And then at that case, then we can start looking at the bearish case on which this actually was the macro top, and then we are going to go down and see like 28,000, right? But make it very clear though, I don't see that coming. I don't see that happening right now. I think that this level is going to have a lot of significance. So, yeah, risk management discipline is 95%. It's true, man. And that is one of the hardest things to do as a trader is to actually learn that and execute it, right? And those are the two important things. You can learn about principles all the time, right? You can learn about the principles. You can learn about all of this. Like, I have a YouTube series on there that's really, really complete with a ton of different principles and all that craziness on there, right? And that's awesome. But you actually have to execute what's taught. And that's where it gets really rough. People just don't, right? I have all these different videos right here that go over all the different important things that you should be doing and different strategies and things like that. But unless you actually take it, put it all together, and execute it, it's nothing, right? And that's the hard part, right? For a very long time, I've known how to trade, but it took me growing and maturing to really actually becoming consistent in my trading. So, yeah, it's a learned skill. Oh my gosh, Quant Stamp. Yes! I own a lot of this. I own a lot of this. And this coin is nothing. Like there's no market cap on it. So like the potential on here is stupid. Yeah, Quant Stamp ranked 582. There's only $45 million in market cap. Like there's nothing here. So, but this entire structure looks very, 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 very clean. So, very hopeful this is going to take off. Shipping's also starting to reverse a little bit. That's good to see. Classic. Come on, Quant Stamp. Come on, Quant Stamp. This is the one I want, guys. All right, let's talk about. Okay, so bro, are you okay with me open up your messages on stream? I don't want to do it unless you're okay with it. First off, all right. So you guys look at this. Okay, clean impulse. We know it's an impulse because high volume, right? Once we have a high volume, we have a consolidation pattern. This consolidation pattern is low volume, right? This is perfect. Now, where does it retrace to? Golden pocket. And now we've had a sweep of this low right here, and now we're continuing back up. Clean. Clean. This is clean, guys. Bitcoin pairing. Very, very similar, right? Come up here, test it, right? Rejected. Golden pocket retracement. A little bit below it, but ultimately I would still probably consider this a golden pocket retracement, right? High volume on the increase, low volume on the consolidation. Perfect. This is what we want to see. I love it. All right. What is this? Looks like we're bouncing and holding. Yeah, possibly. I still expect us to get one more dive down, but I see where you're at though. Soul. Yeah, I got you. So Soul's one of those ones I was actually I made a shit ton of money off of it. So I bought Soul at $7 and I bought more of it at $30. No, 35. Yeah, $7 and $35, and I actually sold it at 190. Yeah, 190. So that was a really, really good play for me. All right, let's look at this. So your bias here. Oh, also, in case you guys are aware or not aware, Bro Science, he is actually one of my graduates on the channel or on the Discord server. So he actually is one of the guys that has learned a tremendous amount of information, has really become competent in his trading. So I have promoted him on the Discord server to graduate. I only have 3 right now. So only 3 people so far. I'm confident in saying these guys have learned enough and are competent enough to post in the channel, post charts, etc. So, yeah, very impressed with his growth and where he came from. And I know he's still got a long ways to go, but that's how it is, guys. But all right. He also uses strategies that are not necessarily all of my own, right? And that's also very important as well. So he also has incorporated his own styles, which is really nice. So he has some of my own, but he also takes others from like Trader SZ and some other ones as well. SZ and S1. All right, either way, let's keep going. Or not SZ. XO, Trader XO, and SZ. All right. Dip. Okay, what am I looking at specifically? Okay, Solana. I have to get a reference points on all these. Okay, that's a weekly breaker. So immediately, let me go ahead and get rid of some of this. Get rid of that. That's no longer significant. Significant. Okay, clean chart, weekly. Okay, we're in a weekly breaker on the Bitcoin pairing. That's already really nice. If I'd be targeting, I'd be targeting right here on the Bitcoin pairing. It's a good bounce right there. So yeah, already I like this chart just because of that weekly. Very, very clean level. 3-day, nothing, 4-hour. Structure, I don't like the roundiness of it, but ultimately we do have a high volume in this pump. Doesn't look too bad. Let's go back to the USD pairing now. So yeah, Solana looks fine on the Bitcoin pairing. Solana. It's actually funny. This is a resistance. Look at this tap right here. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful tap of the weekly breaker. I don't like how big this weekly breaker is, but technically it is a support level. It's just such a massive area. I'm going to go ahead and annotate it because I don't see any other better ones on there. But it doesn't really give you much of a precision entry. So, yes, this area makes a lot of sense to support on the BTC and the USD pairing. What's up, Paul? How are you doing, brother? So, let me show you some STMX. I'm gonna have to get off really soon, but I'll be back on later. So show me then, and I'll look into it. I promise. All right. As long as you're there and you remind me, I will definitely look into it in the next one. All right. So this is a support level, resistance, looks clean. You're looking at a Fibonacci retracement, right, as well? Yeah. Okay. Look at that. Golden pocket was the ultimate bottom for this bounce. Clean, guys. Clean, clean, clean. No, yeah, I look at a lot of different charts. I don't actually like monitor a lot of them, but I look at them. I just leave them there for a while. Okay, what is your bias on here? Why? Okay, looking at the top side there. This entire region is really strong support, man. I don't know if I'd be going too much further down lower. You were saying there's a weekly breaker down there? Let me see this. On the lower time frame. Oh, it's tough, man. I don't know if I would. The way the market looks as a whole, bid for the most recent. Oh, I missed it. There's a lot we have to get down to actually touch it. White line is a significant SR. Yeah, it is. It definitely is, man. Like, no, there's no doubt about that. This white line absolutely is a significant SR. 1, 2, a little bit of a test there. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, very, very key level. 104, I agree. That's a very, very significant level. So could we dip down that far? Sure. But it would just be, it'd be hard to get down there, man. And the reason why is the Bitcoin pairing currently being at a support level. That would basically require the entire market to dump a lot further, right? Or us to lose the weekly breaker, which I don't think makes sense in the immediate term. So could happen. I mean, obviously it could happen, but I would be cautious on going too far down. All right, I'm gonna have to get going, guys. I'm gonna have to go take the dog to the vet. I mentioned that earlier in the stream. But I am home now and I have free time, so I will be posting a lot more in the Discord server. Patreon members, you guys can get a lot more value. I'll be posting a ton more about altcoins. I'm really confident in where the market is at right now. I think I have a really good read on it, and I think I feel confident now in actually doing some altcoin plays. So yeah, dump, but like, dude, not dump hard. I'm expecting us to dump like a few $100s in Bitcoin. That's it. Like, that's it, guys. I'm not expecting much, right? So if we dip down, if we have a, what was it? If we have a price range, a 2% dump in Bitcoin shouldn't, right? Shouldn't translate into a like the 100 region right here. a 11% dump in Solana, right? Could it? Sure, but I don't think it's gonna happen. It could. You could have a really nasty wick, and it absolutely could happen. I don't really expect that to. I don't see that to happen. Could, but we'll see. AYT, you got me at the absolute worst time. About to get off, but have a good one, guys. I gotta go. I'll be back later. Promise you guys. I'm free today, so I will see you guys next video. Like always, deuces, boys. I'm out, y'all.